Welcome everybody, Josh here, back at it again today with a brand new YouTube video. So today I have here a brand new YouTube video, and I'm actually filming this at the old setup. I don't know why the audio insert of my other videos kind of sounds the way it does. I think it's because of the air conditioning running in the background. If I didn't have that thing on, I'd pretty much be sweltering hot because it is like 69, 70 degrees here in Minnesota. So that is why I decided to come here and actually film this review for you guys at my old place, the place that I was staying at before I actually moved. Now I do like the new setup just because of the fact that's where all my stuff is. It's basically where my recording studio is, but I figured that, you know, because of the fact that nobody's here, because of the fact that I can record sort of these videos for you guys and get better audio quality within sort of the video itself, and you don't have that annoying fan running, I'd go and re-film sort of this whole review here at this place. And I think that it's a really nice setup. I definitely think that if you like sort of my videos in the past, you're going to appreciate the fact that I actually filmed this not once but twice, but actually 3 times at this point. So hopefully this video will last you guys, you know, especially since I'm mostly focusing on my gaming channel, which when I'm not recording content on there, I'm actually recording content right here. So if you guys want to know where I'm at, pretty much definitely go check out that channel as well. It's really fun because I actually just got a PlayStation 5, which is pretty insane, and maybe I'll talk about my feelings towards that in a different video if I decide to come here again and actually film another video. But in any case, we are talking about the Lord of the Rings One Ring S-Chain necklace. Now this is a 1-to-1 scale replica of the One Ring S-Chain necklace that you see in the Lord of the Rings franchise from Peter Jackson. I decided to come back and film this review for you guys because I felt like it was only fitting to talk about this since I got this over a year ago. Now you can purchase these separately. You don't have to purchase them all together, which is what I did. If you're purchasing them all together, it's going to cost you around $200, whereas if you buy them separately, you know, the tungsten carbide One Ring with the S-Chain necklace, it's going to be $100 a piece, just because they are really high quality products. And I definitely stand behind Weta Workshop and, you know, sort of Jens Hansen, because it is something that I've always wanted as a kid. You know, as a kid growing up watching Lord of the Rings, one of my friends actually showed me Fellowship of the Ring, and I actually became a huge fan of that movie after watching it. Went and watched all the extended editions and watched The Two Towers as well as Return of the King in theaters, and that pretty much is what got me into Tolkien's universe. I subsequently, you know, read the books afterwards and, you know, read some of the stories that's within Tolkien's universe, and so I'm a huge fan of the franchise. And with that being the case, I wanted to get a tungsten carbide replica One Ring just because of the fact that it's a really iconic piece. When you're wearing that stuff out in public, when you're wearing that stuff, whether that's to a retail store, to a gas station, to work out, wherever you're going, you're gonna get noticed. People are gonna look at that. And one thing that I've noticed lately is when I've worn this to the mall, you know, people recognize it, but they're too afraid to kind of come up and, you know, talk to me about it, which I've never understood the reason why. It's like, you know, I am wearing that thing. If you want to kind of basically talk to me about the movies, if you want to talk to me about the ring itself and the necklace itself, which is a pretty unique necklace just because it has the S-Chain clamp to kind of hold the ring in place, you're going to get noticed out in public, and it's definitely going to be a conversation starter. But, you know, I'm totally fine with answering people's questions if they have questions about this necklace, because I really love this franchise, and I don't think that I'd be as heavily involved within Lord of the Rings or even storytelling in general if I hadn't seen Lord of the Rings as a kid, along with all the other movies that I kind of grew up loving as a whole. It kind of made me want to become a storyteller and create worlds of my own, which is the reason why you see me wearing this One Ring and S-Chain necklace right now. But in any case, one of the things about this One Ring S-Chain necklace that is really great is the fact that you can buy these separately. You can buy, you know, them all together if you want to. And I bought them separately. Just I knew that I was eventually going to want both, so that way I could kind of wear this around my neck, and then I didn't have to wear this around my finger, which you definitely can't do. If you want to stick it right there, if you want to put it on your finger like there, you can pretty much put your One Ring on whatever finger you want. Mine is a size 10, I do believe. I think that's what I got my ring, but I do think in the future I do want to get sort of the 14 or 18 karat gold One Rings that they do make. They're just super expensive, and with everything kind of going on right now, I don't have the money for an 18 or 14 karat gold One Ring. It's just out of my price range because they're a couple $1,000s if you want the actual gold ones. This one right here was tungsten carbide, and it was actually $100. It's actually $100 for the S-Chain necklace, and that's one of the things I want to talk about is this necklace itself worth sort of that $100 price tag? I think that if you're a huge fan of Tolkien's universe, if you're a huge fan of Lord of the Rings, if you're a huge fan of Peter Jackson's movies, like myself, you're going to want to have a close to screen accurate replica as humanly possible. And being the fact that I love screen accurate representations of my favorite movie props, whether that's, you know, sort of video game props or movie props, I'm going to go to the lengths that I need to kind of, you know, purchase those gear that I need to for my collections. And it just looks good on a shelf. It looks good while you're wearing it. It looks good when you're out and about in your public. You know, people definitely ask you questions about it. It's definitely a conversation piece, like I stated before. So I think that with that being the case, I think it's definitely worth the $100 price tag. This thing is easy to take off. You can either pull it over your head, or you can use the S-Chain necklace itself to kind of pull it apart and then kind of do it that way. It's not really that complicated to learn. I'm going to show you guys in a little bit kind of how to take the One Ring itself out of the sort of S-Chain necklace, because it's a different system, a different mechanism than sort of what you're used to when taking apart a necklace. It's not the same thing as you would like a standard issue necklace where you just pull the little thing, you know, apart and you're pretty much good to go. There's a little bit more to it than that. So let me show you guys that in a little bit, and then I'll kind of go over my final thoughts and opinions of the S-Chain necklace from Weta Workshop. All right, so this is how you pull it over your head. It's relatively difficult to do it with glasses. I kind of need to kind of bend my head over, and then I can pretty much pull it down that way. But this is the S-Chain necklace itself. As you can see, it's basically a 1-to-1 scale replica of the One Ring from Lord of the Rings. I'm gonna probably include some B-roll footage just because I don't know how well you guys can kind of see sort of the One Ring itself. But this kind of replicates, you know, the One Ring that everybody's trying to steal from Boromir, who eventually gets killed. Isildur eventually had this ring at one point in time in the opening act of the film, and he failed to kind of drop the ring into Mordor. But being that this is a 1-to-1 scale accurate replica of the One Ring from Lord of the Rings, I really love this thing. You know, this thing is amazing. It's one of my most prized possessions, pretty much currently own. I couldn't ask for anything better than sort of this One Ring S-Chain necklace replica. So how do you undo sort of the S-Chain necklace itself? Well, as you guys can see here, if I could find the video, you got sort of the S-Chain, and then you basically, you know, push this aside, and then you can basically take it apart that way. I'm going to show you guys how to do that if I can figure out which side it actually goes on. And when you're doing this, you're not going to actually ruin the S-Chain. It's just going to allow you to easily take it off like so, and then you can basically just put it on through one of the loops and stuff like that. Yep. And then I got it. And then you just basically put this back in place and you push it down a little bit, and it's not going to go anywhere. You know, like I said before, I think the attention to detail of this thing is absolutely freaking amazing. It's one of the reasons why I'm going to buy it in the first place, just because of the fact that this thing is really, really cool, and it's a close to accurate replica of the one that Frodo Baggins wears or Elijah Wood wears in the entirety of the Lord of the Rings franchise. If you're looking for a close to accurate replica of this ring, you can't go any better than sort of the one that you see here. So those are my final opinions of the Lord of the Rings One Ring S-Chain necklace. Let me know in the comments section down below what you think about this ring right here. As you can see, it still looks relatively good even all these years later after kind of owning this thing and wearing it out myself. Basically wear this out all the time now just because it is that cool. And I'm going to put this back in my head to kind of close out the video, so give me a second. So yeah, that is my review of the Lord of the Rings One Ring S-Chain necklace from Weta Workshop. Hope you guys will like this review and the fact that I kind of basically came back to my old setup and decided to record some content for you guys. I might talk about the PlayStation 5 when I have some more time spent with it. I've been playing a lot of PlayStation 5 games, so definitely check out my gaming channel when you see this video. It might come out later, it might come out sooner. I'm working on sort of, you know, other videos and stuff like that right now for the main channel. But I hope you guys like this, and as always guys, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.